And a welcome to you inside Carver Arena here in downtown Peoria, Illinois. And 39 miles, just 39 miles separate these two foes. It's the Bradley Braves against the Illinois State Redbirds. Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the broadcast again with Matt McLean. I am Brian Vito. And Matt, both these teams shorthanded tonight. We'll get to that in just a moment. But when you think of the Missouri Valley Conference, nothing is more synonymous to the term rivalry than Bradley versus Illinois State.
That's right. It's the I-74 rivalry. Great opportunity for both of these two teams to get some momentum going to the end of this regular season, going into March Madness, and try to get some momentum going into that big tournament.
Yeah, you see the standings right there. Both teams jockeying for position. 2 weeks from tonight, we'll start March Madness in St. Louis. So for Bradley tonight, no Elijah Childs, no Terry Nolan Jr., no Daniel Kingsby. For Illinois State, they're without their top scorer, DJ Horn. With that said, who are we focusing on tonight?
Yeah, for ISU, it's Josiah Strong. He's a junior. He transferred into ISU this year. He's one of their vocal leaders, really good player. He's got leadership qualities, and what he really brings is scoring off the bench for the most part, 11.6 points per game for him. And so he really brings kind of an energy to the Redbird program.
And for Bradley, Rink Mass has been on fire.
He has been one of Bradley's best players recently. The last 7 games, he's averaging just under 12 points per game, and he can stretch the floor from behind the arc, and really just with every game improving. Rink Mass, one of the guys to focus on tonight.
Well, Matt, we're about ready to get started. Both teams taking the floor quickly. Let's go over the starting lineups first for the visiting Redbirds. You just heard about Josiah Strong. Believe it or not, this is actually going to be his first start of the year. He plays starters minutes, but first time he'll start from the opening tip. Howard Fleming Jr., Iman Washington, a couple of really strong freshmen, Antonio Reeves out of Chicago, and Dusan Mahorcic will round it out for the Redbirds. Bradley, on the other hand, they'll run up another freshman in Jason Kent. Kevin McAdoo in the 6 games back from his leave of absence. Jashawn Henry, he's back after missing the last 2 games, making his second start of the year. Vile Tavanainen and Rink Mass will round it out for the Braves. The 132nd all-time matchup between these two programs is underway as the Braves control the tip.
Brian, the I-74 rivalry, going to see a lot of intensity between these two teams. Let's see how this opening segment falls.
The Braves have won 5 of 6 in this series, but fell in their most recent one in Bloomington Normal, 71-56, the final in that one, back on January the 20th. Henry keeping it alive, but stepped on the baseline, and it'll go back to Illinois State on the opening possession.
Great first defensive possession there for the Redbirds. You're seeing that they play the 2-3 zone. It's going to throw Bradley off all night. We get to the keys of the game for ISU. Sharing is caring. When they're successful, they're sharing the ball well. Teammates are getting open shots, extra passes, and then playing with fire. The first meeting of the season, ISU came out, had a lot of intensity. That second half, they came out and beat the Braves, and that was a big key for them. We'll get to Bradley's keys in just a moment here, Brian.
Mahorcic being guarded by Mast. There is Fleming Jr. outside. 3 is down from Antonio Reeves, the sophomore out of Simeon High School, part of the MVC All-Bench team a year ago. And that's something Illinois State did a lot of in the second half in their win against the Braves in January.
Yeah, making threes, and that's one of the keys for Bradley is guarding that three-point line. ISU, when they're successful, they're making a lot of threes, and ISU's going to want to do that. For Bradley, their other key then as well, it'll be payback. They remember that first matchup. Coach Wirtles talked about it during the middle of the week, saying, hey, our guys want to come out. They got some fire. They want to come out and get some payback from that first loss against their rival ISU Redbirds.
Here is Strong from deep, and that's good. And the Redbirds are 2 of 2 from deep. And Josiah Strong, who was the only player that was in double figures in both games against Southern last weekend, gets off on the right foot with a 3.
Yeah, this is a perfect start for Dan Muller and the Birds, just coming out, get 2 defensive stops. His 2-3 zone can really wreak havoc against opponents. They're long. They kind of do a 2-3 little matchup zone as you see Henry get the post feed.
And he goes up and he's too strong with it, and the rebound to Fleming. If you recall in the game, the first matchup, the Braves actually got off to a great start against that zone as Mahorcic on the pick and roll slams it down. And Illinois State off to a perfect start, 8-0. Again, it's almost the exact opposite of
Roles
what we
reversed.
saw 39 miles away about a month ago, where Bradley got out to a 16-4 lead, and then it was pretty much Illinois State from there on out. But let's see how Bradley responds out of the timeout.
Yeah, I mean, just almost a perfect start. You couldn't write it up any better if you're Dan Muller. For Brian Wardle right now, it's, guys, come on, wake up. The ISU is taking it to us right now. You see Mahorchich get free off that little screen and roll down the lane for the one-handed slam. And I mean, that's just going to get your program fired up if you're ISU right now, playing with a lot of moxie, coming out here with some swagger. Punched Bradley in the mouth through the first 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Let's see what the Braves can come up with an answer or not.
And again, as we've said at the top, both teams playing shorthanded. Childs, Kingsby, and Noland all suspended for all basketball-related activities due to program violations. Just found Henry back in, as we said. DJ Horn, who was a monster in that first game, is out for Illinois State due to injury tonight. The Braves break the press with ease. McAdoo, who's averaging 8 points per game and 2 assists since his return to the lineup, gives to Tamaninen. Bounce pass to Henry on the low block. Pivots in and goes up and scores. And you love to see that for Deshaun Henry, who gets the Braves on the board.
Yeah, really strong move there by Henry. As you see kind of in the middle of the zone there, ISU, they got 2 guys on him. The third one coming in and sagging in. Just a better move there by Henry. Great offense beats the good defense.
And you love to see that right out of the timeout. You get a high percentage look, right, if you're Bradley.
Absolutely.
3 in the corner is down once again.
Antonio Reeves.
And again, it's Reeves. That's his second triple. Illinois State, a perfect 4 of 4 from the floor and 3 of 3 from deep.
Yeah, and that's one of those keys to the game that Bradley's got to be aware where those shooters are and kind of challenge those shots. Don't allow them to have good looks. So far, ISU's 3 threes have been very clean looks. Brian Worrell's going to want that to change.
McAdoo behind the back, kicks it out to Henry, puts it on the floor, steps into a deuce, and is way too strong. Kent sticks with it, back to Henry, who throws it down. Did he get it off? No, he did not.
Yeah, looks like they might take a look at it here, but it appeared that Henry still had it in his hands on his way up for the dunk as the shot clock expired from our vantage point. Another great defensive possession there by ISU, though.
And Illinois State came in shooting 36% for 3. That's right in the middle of the conference, but off to a dynamite start so far tonight from distance. Reeves himself at 32% coming in. He's made both.
I mean, they shoot 36% on the season, but that does not shy them away from shooting the 3 ball. Absolutely not. I mean, this is a team that's averaging 22 3-point attempts per game, so they're going to come out and shoot it. And obviously, DJ Horn is like one of those guys that is their catalyst from behind the 3-point line. He's 9th in the NCAA among all 3-point shooters in terms of how many they shoot and percentage. But you don't have him tonight. It hasn't affected them yet so far.
Out of the timeout, let's see what the Redbirds do. Strong guarded by Sean East. And that's the first miss of the ball game for Illinois State.
And a well-contested shot there on that one. That's much more what Bradley wants. A quick shot from Strong with the hand in his face.
McAdoo, hesitation, looking for Mass. Couldn't get it to him.
Great
on
hustle.
the floor, behind the back to Kent to keep it alive for the Braves. Fires it over to Mass, back to East, and the Braves will reset. Henry had his corner 3 blocked by Reeves, and the Braves will have it. Out of the timeout in a very fast-paced opening 4 minutes and 13 seconds. 7 on the shot clock for Bradley. Claim back with you in Peoria. And we said this earlier, the 132nd meeting all-time between these two schools. Bradley with a slight edge overall. They've been pretty dominant in Peoria. And as we said earlier, Bradley had their 5-game winning streak snapped against ISU with a 15-point Redbird win. But this is so cliche, but it is totally one of those throw out the record books when these two teams play. There's always just a ton of energy when these two match up.
Yeah, no doubt about it, as if you need any extra motivation. But tonight's edition, especially with Bradley missing 3 of their top players, ISU's without its leading scorer. So it is one of those, all right, you're going out there and you're playing for the team that's on the front of your jersey. You're playing for that school pride, and most importantly, come out and get a win near the end of the season. Just try to get some momentum and some confidence going into Arch Madness, right?
Absolutely. McAdoo is forced to launch as the shot clock was expiring, tiptoeing and saving it inbounds. Is Fleming Jr. already has 3 assists in this ball game.
A really good facilitator. You'll see ISU run a lot of their offense through Fleming. He's one of those guys who's got great floor vision, and he can really, as you see right here, mid-range jumper. He's got that in his bag of tricks as well.
Hit on the arm by Kent. Yeah, Fleming had 7 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. In the first matchup, he had 6 assists. And ISU's dominant win in Carbondale last Saturday, 80-55. They won that in game 1 before falling by 10 in game 2. Bradley was swept at Missouri State as Fleming makes the first. Freshman out of Louisville. Tavanainen checks in for Kent.
You said the key word, what I was going to transition to right there, Brian, was a freshman. This is a very young, inexperienced ISU team that's got a great job this season coming and just trying to build up some momentum and some team chemistry. I mean, this Redbirds program has 0 seniors on it. I mean, only a couple juniors and, really just kind of working up and building up to something. And, ISU right now, they're trying to build up on that off of that win on Saturday at Southern. They fell a little bit short Sunday, but it was a promising start on that road trip for sure.
You're going to look at Brian Wardle in his 6th year. They've cut down the nets the last 2 years. They've cut down the nets in 40% of the years he's been here at Bradley, talking about down in St. Louis.
Good percentage.
Not bad at all. And Dan Muller, on the other hand, leading Illinois State. You talked about this young group. He's in his 8th season. Of course, led the Redbirds the share of the 2017 Valley title. I also led them as a player to a Valley title in the late 90s as well. Was under Kevin Stallings at Vanderbilt, another ISU guy prior to coming back to ISU. As McAdoo brings it up, Sean East, who had 13 on Sunday, including 3 of 4 from 3, gives to McAdoo, flashing up on the high post is Mass. Quick touch out to East. He's been hot from there, and that continues with a right wing 3.
Yeah, absolutely. East he missed 3 games due to a non-COVID illness a couple weeks ago, but he's back. And since he's returned, Brian, as you mentioned, he has been very solid, mostly coming off of the bench and providing good spark for the Braves. He knocks down the 3 there.
Bradley picking up the intensity defensively. Deep in the shot clock go the Redbirds. Corner 3 from Reeves. This time is off the mark. Mass coming off a double-double. Secures the rebound. Up ahead to McAdoo. Thought about a 3. And the Braves recognize they need to do a better job of attacking this zone. That was something Brian Wardle talked about to the media in his Zoom call. Tavanainen sidesteps into a 3. And it's chased down by Boyd.
Good look there by Ville, just not able to connect on it, but you're going to need a big performance from him tonight. Ville is one of those key players for Bradley. When he's able to score 10 points, Bradley has a very good record.
And Tavanainen, that's something with some players out he's been tasked to do, has been being able to guard some of the difficult matchups for him. Some of the top scorers and players on the opposition. As Fleming tries a 3, that's off the mark. Hanna with an excellent job of sealing his defender, forced that over the back, and the Braves will have it. It's going to go on Aruna Sissoko, who checked in as well. Henry back in for Bradley. And Matt, we've talked a lot about Illinois State's youth. Quite a bit out there for Bradley as well. It just seems like they're vets at this point in the season, but right now you have East, a sophomore, Hanna, a freshman, Tavanainen, a sophomore, McAdoo, and Henry in there too. You saw Mast, who just checked out, as McAdoo is fouled on his way in.
Yeah, strong take there by Kevin McAdoo, just realizing the weakness of that zone there right in the middle, drives down Main Street, gets the contact, can't get to go, but earns a trip to the charity stripe.
So McAdoo, in a short sample, has been very good from the line, 10 of 11. At 13 points on Sunday. The Rays have been very balanced over the last few games. They've had 8 players tally double figures in the last 3 ball games. They had 6 alone in the win at Valpo last Wednesday. That's the most they've had hit double digits going back to 2006.
Another pretty good year in Bradley program history.
Strong to bring it up. Boyd looking backdoor, cut off by Tavanainen. Stepping out is Jai, guarded by Hanna. Spins, goes baseline. Good alley drill by Hanna. Excellent defense.
Yeah,
and then forced the missed shot. Antonio Thomas, the sophomore out of Memphis, gives to a slashing Henry and one.
Yeah, great job there by Henry just to realize he had Jai going backwards, kind of backpedaling. Just takes the advantage, goes right into him. Strong contact and lays it off the glass for the and one.
Henry now with 2 points. Beg your pardon, 4 points. Acrobatic finish by the junior out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And he does convert on the old-fashioned three-point play. That was his team-leading 74th free throw attempt on the year. He does not shy away from contact.
No, not at all. As you see right there, he goes and he finds the contact. Just another example of that right there. Great heads-up play by Deshaun Henry.
Fleming, the step back is good. That's pure from the freshman.
Yep, and that's one of his sweet spots, that little mid-range. We saw it earlier, draw the contact, and on that one, little step back 15-footer. Finds nothing but net. You see a lot of this in this 2-3 zone. ISU kind of does a little matchup, and they'll do a lot of switches. Even though it's a zone, they match up a little bit, and then focus. It allows the defense to kind of breathe, and the offense has to kind of, readjust and think they have an opening. But right there, it looked like they had an opening going back door, just the switch, and get the foul.
Jason Kent back in. He'll inbound. Another freshman. Sounds like a broken record already with that. East on the right wing. The baseline cutter is Kent instead of the high flashers. Henry draws the double team. Had it poked away. Fleming has it, and he'll bring it up. Fleming opposite the ball screen. Jump stop, steps back again. This time a no-go. Thomas hands the East, cut off by Fleming, and checked from behind. And that'll be the 15th foul already on the Redbirds. So Bradley will have it out of the timeout. 11:55 to go. It's the Redbirds by 5. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. I am Brian Beto back here in Peoria. And before planning your trip to St. Louis or to follow the 2021 State Farm NBC Men's Basketball Championship, which is just 2 weeks away exactly from tonight, be sure to download the Arch Madness app or visit archmadness.com. Both resources have all the information you need to know about the tournament schedule, hotel accommodations, and other fun events during the tournament. Log on to archmadness.com or download the app on your phone today. Illinois State leading Bradley 15-10. If you're just joining us, the Redbirds got off to a great start. But ever since, pretty good response by the Braves, man.
Yeah, good response from Bradley, trying to keep this thing close early and doing a good job of attacking the rim. We've seen a bucket from Deshaun Henry driving. We've seen a bucket from Sean East driving. So good job just Bradley trying to stay in this one early and responding to that quick early 8-2 run from the Redbirds.
The Redbirds made their first 4 shots, including 3 from 3. Or just one of their last 6. Is Henry on the reverse? No. Follows his own shot and scores.
So strong down there. There it is again. Bradley attacking the rim. Henry able to drive baseline, beat his defender, miss, but stick with the play. And so good when he gets that close, Brian.
And so efficient. Look at some of the analytics. Him, Mast, and Tavanainen for Bradley. Really efficient offensively, and it's just been showing for Henry this year. Easton transition. Kent is a sharpshooter, and he can't knock that one down. And the rebound goes to Washington up ahead to Strong. Bradley back defensively. Boyd gets a step. Late whistle, and a foul is called, and Boyd will shoot 2.
Yeah, part of the scouting report on Boyd is he's such a good three-point shooter from the outside, but right there he gives us a little shot fake. He's able to drive, get past his man, and draw the contact, earn the trip to the free throw line.
A boy who actually started his career at Eastern Kentucky, averaging just over 7 points per game. Did had 11 in the win over SIU, last weekend. Redbirds as a team, this has not been their best area, just 63%. But Boyd does make a pair. And now we'll pick up some pressure here in the backcourt.
Yeah, we've seen it a number of times from ISU, and it's really just getting rid of some of that time on the shot clock, and they do a good job. They manufacture another turnover. ISU is doing a great job defensively, kind of dictating what they want to see from the Braves.
And that's the idea, right? You're not there to get a steal in the backcourt, but you want to speed up the opposition, and they were able to do exactly that. As Thomas will bring it up, it's the high ball screen. Tavanainen's open for three. And Washington's there.
A defensive lapse there by the Redbirds, but Tavanainen not able to connect on that open three ball. He's going to make a good portion, a high portion of those open looks. ISU got away with one there.
Hanna able to save it in. Ahead to Thomas. He'll push it up the floor. He's got space, gives to Mast underneath. And he can't finish at the rim, and the rebound to Moorchich.
Nice job there by Thomas to kind of come down and manufacture an opportunity for his teammate. But then again, Mast not able to finish from about 3 feet out. Another good opportunity for Bradley to get this down to a one-possession game.
Helped out by Mast. Reeves gets space, and look at the burst.
Yeah, great clear out there by Moorchich to clear out Mast, not allow the help side defense to get over. Really easy done there by Reeves, just blind and for Deuce.
Kept alive by Mast, out to Tavanainen, thought about a three. Braves with 15 to shoot. Left wing, Thomas. To Hanna, who traveled.
That's one of the weak spots in that zone, though. If they can get the ball to the middle, that 2-3, and kind of facilitate right there. It looked like Hanna had, if he wanted the little 14-foot jumper, he had it, but just kind of thinking, doing too much before he takes a dribble, and another turnover for the Braves. That's their 5th already of the evening.
Jai popping out is Washington. Strong has it back to Boyd, cut off by Tavanainen. Boyd floats one up, spins out. Boyd on the ground. The Braves got numbers if they push it. Thomas to a trailing Tavanainen in the wing corner for East. Drives in, and it's poked and stolen away on the floor. Hanna has it, but throws it right to Strong, who's got space. Strong throws it down.
Now, whole sequence starts when Abdur Jai dives on the floor, gets the loose ball, and then it gets kicked out to Strong, who kind of reads that bounce, goes the other way. ISU looking impressive so far in this opening first 11 minutes.
East, they go underneath the screen. It's left short, tipped out to Tavanainen. The Braves, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. As Connor Linke's in for his first action tonight, another freshman.
Yeah, doing a great job so far for the Braves, kind of manufacturing those second chance opportunities. Already have 5 offensive rebounds in this game so far.
On the pick and roll to Linke, who lays it in.
Thomas doing a very good job of facilitating for the Braves, just able to dip that down to Linke, who does exactly what he's supposed to do, gets to the hoop, and gets rewarded. High IQ play by both Thomas and Linke on that one.
Strong left wing three is short. Thomas the rebound. And again, he's going to push ahead to East, who backs it out. Strong transition D by the Redbirds. 7.5 to go. Braves down 7 with the basketball.
Nice find.
And they get an open look for Tavanainen.
Not going down for him tonight, yeah.
Great shots. He's been left alone, just not knocking him down so far tonight.
Yeah, not his evening so far. 0 for 5 from the field, including 0 for 4 from 3. Vile Tavanainen, that's the guy you want shooting them, but so far ISU is able to control the tempo. 21-14 ISU over Bradley.
With Matt McLean. Matt, for the first time this season, people not on the floor or working the game are actually in attendance. There's 50 pass list members that are in attendance tonight, so close family and close friends of these players and coaches that could attend tonight.
It's nice to hear someone else's voice, right? I mean, like a lot of times, like during free throws and stuff, we're like, okay, we got to be quiet, right? Because we're the only people in the building.
I know.
But we got 50 friends and family in the stands tonight, so it's been nice.
Trending in the right direction, and also we got a big win too. Speaking of things trending well, we got Paul Herzog in the house.
That is very true. His first and possible. It's going to be his only game because it's the last one. So. Yeah, Paul Herzog back on the public address.
Yeah, been there for the better part of 4 decades. Is in town calling, and it's good to hear his familiar voice. There he is on the good golden pipes.
Yeah, and
there's good sets of golden pipes on that side of the floor. Not as much as us. You got Dave Snell up there, and you got Paul Herzog.
Paul Herzog, you can tell he's been in Florida with that suntan.
I know.
I'm jealous.
Jealous too. 8-point lead for Illinois State. Strong, who's got 5 points. We highlighted in the open. Struggled a little bit, and Coach Mueller talked about this before missing some time due to an injury. He might not be 100%, but he's played very, very well coming back from that injury, which we alluded to earlier. Tavanainen, there's Mast. Dump down low, Linky, good high-low action, and the Braves convert.
You said it exactly, Brian, the high-low action. Get the ball to this middle of the zone. Mast is able to kind of face up, triple threat in the middle of the paint, sees Linky, has his man sealed. Beautiful lob over the top. Linky gets the contact, fights through it, scores it, gets a little bounce in. Been impressed with what Connor Linky has provided so far in limited minutes for the Braves tonight.
Yeah, he's got 4 points, but that's a new career high. You're still with plenty of time to go in this one. Linky does convert on the old-fashioned three-point play.
A player that Brian Wardle really loves his work ethic, his defensive intensity. Just a guy who has a lot of intangibles and a player who could potentially grow into a very, very, very good asset for the Braves.
Played good defense on Mawarchich, who threw it out of bounds. It'll go back to the Braves, trailing by 6. And if you're just joining us, Illinois State started red hot. Made their first 3 threes. They missed their last 6. Bradley's hasn't been able to get it going from deep yet either, but they've gotten some looks. 11 to shoot. East on the pick and roll. Bounces into Mask. Baby Hook is down for Rink Mask, his first field goal of the night.
You can kind of see Bradley working the 1-2 game right there. Just a quick little pick and roll there from Sean East. And Mask was able to seal off his man and get positioned on the little right-handed hook shot to go. Nice little draw-up play there for the Braves.
He's been the Braves' leading scorer over the last 7 contests, nearly 12 points per game. As it's batted out to East. No numbers, but he's going to pull up for 3, and he won't get the bounce. And Orchich, the rebound. Orchich, one of the best rebounders in the league. In fact, he's 4th in the Valley in that category.
Yeah, he's got a game with 15 rebounds under his belt against Missouri State this season. A guy who can average. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Orchich is one of those guys who can really get out there and get after it. Horchich is going to be replaced here by Jai.
So after tonight, just 2 games remaining for both teams, and they'll take place next Friday and next Saturday. All Valley games to close out the season are that, just to give all teams ample opportunities. As McAdoo knocks down a 3 for the exact amount of time off between that and the start of March Madness, the exact amount of time for preparation. So Bradley will take on Drake. Illinois State will take on Northern Iowa to close out their year. This is the closest the Braves have been in quite some time, really since the opening tip. That one's knocked out of bounds. It'll reset to 20. They're going to say it went off Mass' foot. As Hannah checks in for Linky, who gets a nice hand from his team and coaching staff for the minutes he provided.
Yeah, 4 minutes so far for Connor Linky, 2 for 2 from the field, 1 for 1 from the free throw line, doing a really good job. And just active hands on the defensive end as well. He's earned some more playing time you'd have to expect in the second half.
Really good take on the inside by Iman Washington. who had a double-double last Saturday, 11 points, 10 rebounds. Thomas, hesitation dribble. Pivots, gives it to Hannah. Still plenty of time to shoot. Here comes the high ball screen from Mast. McAdoo now had it blocked away by Jai. Both these teams excellent shot blocking teams as Jai knocks that one away. The Redbirds have it going the other way. Kick back out, corner three. Reeves is down.
That's picture perfect of what ISU wants to try to do. Defensively, they're going to influence your shots. Jai, you see he starts that fast break, and then Reeves knocks down another three-pointer. He has been red hot so far here for the Redbirds. He's leading all scores with 11 points. His third three ball right there.
Jai led the team in shot blocking a year ago, averages a block and a half this year. Slithering between defenders, had it blocked was Thomas. Now the Redbirds on a mini burst of 5-0. Back out to Strong. Guarded by Mass. And he turned it over, but Jai able to keep it alive for Illinois State. Shot clock did not reset. Left wing three for Washington is no good. Thomas is down. And on the floor, we hope he's all right.
Took a shot to the mouth, holding his mouth, it looks like.
And he'll have some time to recoup here as we head to a timeout with 3:27 to go. It's Illinois State leading Bradley 28-22. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. 28-22, Illinois State by 6. Brian Beto and Matt McLean with you. Get a look at the Bradley huddle, who again has had to mix and match with different lineups. And it's given these young guys a lot of experience, which is really much needed. I mean, both these teams, the future of the respective programs with all the youth there. And definitely some bright spots. We talked about Connor Linke. Rink Mass has been great as of late for Bradley as well. Kevin McAdoo just splashed in a three. And both these teams trying to figure out the right combinations with just 2.5 games left heading into St. Louis.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so super important to, get some momentum going to Arch Madness. And, I mean, the I-74 rivalry, what a better way to do that, right? I mean, this is a night where you'd expect Carver Arena to be jam-packed in a normal year. You got, fans coming over from Normal. Like Coach Morris has been coming over for years from Normal, I know. And you want a bunch of people here in Carver Arena, right? And you don't have it tonight, which is unfortunate. But these players are manufacturing their own energy and things of that nature. So, honestly, just great that these two teams are playing. And we got a couple games left here before we get down to St. Louis and see what these guys can do here in the last, 23 minutes of this ball game.
Bradley got to within 23-22, so 5 unanswered from Illinois State. Boyd could help on him. Reeves, the leading scorer in this ball game, comes up empty on a teardrop. They floated ahead to Tavanainen, back to East. The Redbirds set up with their zone. Henry bounce pass, finds Mass, and a great ball fake, and Jai's going to make him earn it at the strike.
Yeah, Jashawn Henry doing a great job reading that weakness of that 2-3 zone right through the middle there. Bounce pass in between a couple of defenders. Rink Mass able to manufacture this trip to the free throw line with that shot fake. As you said, Brian, great job.
Mass makes the first. Has an MVC Newcomer of the Week award under his belt just a few weeks back. Double-double on Sunday, 15 points, 11 rebounds. And I mean, the coaching staff just raves about what he's been able to provide and his coachability and his maturity, because it's so easy to forget he's a freshman.
No doubt about it.
Holds himself accountable is another word that they've used to describe him, and he's adapted really well here in his first year on the court in game action for Bradley.
Absolutely. You mentioned on the court, obviously, he missed last season with the knee injury with the red shirt, which is super valuable for him to get acquainted with the program and, learn some of these guys. And he's really kind of stepped into a little bit of a leadership role as a vocal leader, is what Coach Wardle told us.
Braves get a stop. Here's Sean East, the sophomore. The The Braves overload one side. They give to Hannah on the low block. Flips it out to Mast. Tavanainen and ball fake. Back to Mast. He can hit it from there and does.
Beautiful ball movement there by the Braves, passing up multiple looks. Nice shot fake by Ville Tavanainen. Kick it over to his roommate, Rick Mast, able to knock down the 3 ball.
Boy, good burst. Floater gets the bounce.
Yeah, just blows right past the defender there. Great job there by Dedrick Boyd to create that little 10-foot jumper on the baseline. Get the bounce in.
Junior out of Brownsville, Tennessee. Boyd, that's his first bucket of the ball game. East from the elbow, left it short. Washington the rebound. Washington, an excellent rebounder for being just 6'5". I mentioned he had 10 last weekend. He's already got 4 here tonight. At length, we'll probably tell you why.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's strong. There you see it again. He can fill it up quickly from behind the arc. Knocks down a 3 ball.
He's got 10 points, joining Reeves in double figures, who has 11. Mass tries a wing 3, and that's good. Rick Mass gets heating up.
Another guy who can heat up in a hurry. Rick Mass, back-to-back 3 balls for the Braves.
Boyd pulls up and gets another bounce. Man, he's living right tonight. That's the second time he's hit that front of the rim, and it's bounced in for him. And Boyd catching fire as well.
Really smart, too. He reads the clock. He sees he's got a 2-for-1 opportunity to come down and get a quick shot. And the Redbirds looks like they're on track to have the last shot of the half.
Henry, they swing it to Hannah. High post for Mass, squares up from 15. Too strong. Henry chases it down, floats it up. No, but he'll shoot 2.
No friendly bounce on this end. Dedrick Boyd's got the other end figured out well, but Henry can't get that one to go in. But another great job of reading the offensive glass there by Jashawn Henry. Get another chance there. You see, he's fired up. Jashawn Henry, happy to be out here playing tonight.
He's got 7 points. 75% foul shooter. He made his first and only trip so far this evening, and he makes the first. Slew of substitutions defensively for Bradley, Linky, McAdoo, and Thomas all in, as Illinois State should have the final shot remaining here in the half. Kent will also check in. And don't want Henry or East to pick up any quick fouls here at the
smart
end.
Substitution as ISU gets a chance here to extend their lead before halftime.
Strong has it, and he's going to give it to Reeves. Here comes the high screen from Mahorchich. Strong hand in his face on Thomas. Step back 3 is just a little bit short.
Nice defense by Thomas.
And that's how the first half will end. An entertaining first half. Illinois State got out to a very fast start. Bradley closed the gap. They're within 3 at the halfway point. We'll step aside, take a timeout for Carver Arena here in Peoria, Illinois, on this I-74 rivalry night. It's actually a heat wave in Central Illinois. It was in the 20s.
Can you believe it?
Great dad joke. Had to get it in. Euro 2-step. How about this, Matt? You know, the roommates, you called it out earlier. They've been huge for Bradley as of late. Mass already in double figures again tonight for the 9th time this year. But these two have really stepped up. Again, a sophomore on the left, a freshman on the right already for Bradley.
Yeah, I mean, just 2 guys who have really grown exponentially this season in terms of, we talked earlier about Rink being a leader. Ville as a sophomore, he's a guy that, Rink can kind of learn it a little bit from too as well, coming out. They're scoring the ball really well, but the underrated thing about both of their games is defensively they have grown so much on that side of the floor. Been very, very, very solid contributor for the Braves down this last, 5, 6, 7 games.
Not to fizzle out Ville, but we got to talk a little bit more about Rink Mast and what he's done. I said earlier he's been the leading scorer for Bradley over the last 7 games. And you see there, you're ranking among leaders for freshmen in conference games and all games. And this is a guy that he said he was more comfortable playing on the perimeter coming into his career at Bradley. So he's really grown into that low post game to add that to his perimeter game, and both have been on display tonight.
And what Brian Wardle says is he's so coachable, right? And it's one of those things, he holds himself to high standards and he holds himself accountable. And when you have a guy who comes in every day and wants to work hard and do those type of things, then it makes what you're talking about of those improvements so much easier to accomplish. A guy who's playing with a lot of confidence right now, and he's been fun to watch.
And they've got Bradley to within 3. We'll be back with first half stats and more. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. Is the score in game number 2 of this year's version of the I-74 rivalry. Of course, Illinois State with the 15-point win in game 1. Bradley trying to return the favor here in game 2 as we get a look again at the standings. And Matt, it's tough to predict, especially with a disparity in games played throughout the conference, but there's going to be a lot of jockeying through the rest of the next week and a half or so. 7 through 10 playing that that first round on Thursday. So both these teams trying to get out of that. Bradley, as of now, holds the tiebreaker on Evansville, even though they're not tied yet. I understand that. They do not against Valparaiso in Northern Iowa. However, they're doing it differently from a tiebreaker perspective this year. Obviously, head-to-head wins. But the second tiebreaker is how you're doing against the team at the top of the conference. So your head-to-head record against what right now is Loyola, and then it would be Drake, so on and so forth. So Bradley behind those tiebreakers. We could literally wrap this out. I feel like that gift from Charlie from It's Always Something in Philadelphia, running out the scenarios.
Exactly. You know what? It's the COVID season, right? So the fact that they're doing something different, it kind of makes a lot of sense. But, I mean, if you just look at that 5 through 10 range right now in the standings, I mean, only separated between 3 games. So a lot of things are going to change. And obviously we have to crown a Valley champ, too, between Drake and Loyola. 2 teams playing extremely well. So a lot to be proved here in the last, kind of week and a half, 10 days. And it'll be interesting to see how all those seedings take place at Arch Madness.
Yeah, 15 and a half games in. Nothing's decided yet the way we like it. So we'll see what happens over the next 10 days or so. Brian Beto, Matt McLean, as we get a look at some first half highlights. And, Illinois State, like you said, came out red hot. Shoshana Henry able to work the Braves back in to get them within to where they are 3 right now.
Yeah, ISU going to jump out that 8-2 start. And it was really right here by plays like this. The defense came first and led to the offense. Josiah Strong with that strong finish on the slam. And ISU with that great start, but Bradley really started to figure out that 2-3 zone that the Redbirds have been running a little bit, and kind of scratched and clawed their way back by triple driving the seams and knocking down a few shots. As you see our first half stats, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, what stands out, we were trying to pinpoint things during the break. Bradley out rebounding the Birds. They have 7 offensive rebounds. That's 1. But outside field goal percentage too, but everything's pretty
even.
Similar outside of just these stats too, and which makes sense, like you said, because it's a 3-point game, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And the difference was in that first 12 minutes. We were looking at the turnover column and saying during a break, Bradley, they had 6 turnovers during that point. They took care of the ball the last 8 minutes. They clawed their way back into the game, take care of the basketball. Bradley's going to have a good opportunity to come back and get this win here tonight. But if it's ISU standpoint, you're just looking and you're saying, hey, they come out here and keep disrupting them on the defensive end like we did that first 10, 12 minutes. That's the big key from here on out.
And if you're Bradley, like you said, they were really attacking the zone, starting to get some really good looks, and some of those didn't even drop.
Right.
So Rick Mask hit a couple, but Tavanainen is 0-4 from 3, and he's getting some great looks. So you figure that might change in the Braves' favor. It's something that if you're Bradley, I think might bode well here in the second half. But in my opinion, these first 4 minutes absolutely huge to dictating the pace. Bradley really trying to turn the tables on the Redbirds. I hate to keep alluding back to that last game, but again, Bradley was up 12 early on. Illinois State really reeled them back in quickly, overtook them, then got off to a hot start in the second half. Tonight, almost the opposite. Illinois State got out to an 11-point lead, 13-2. Bradley reeled them in, and now the Braves trying to get out to that fast start and overtake the Redbirds. They have not led all game.
No, they have not. And if you're Brian Wardle, you're using that first game from last month right now as a big example. Say, hey, guys, we're not even close to being out of the woods yet. We saw what ISU did to us in a second half over in Normal. So really kind of using that as some motivation. Come out here and put your foot on the gas and, try to get your first lead of the night and take it home. But if you're the Redbirds right now, keep doing what you're doing. And, you got the lead right now, playing the way that you want. You've been able to control the tempo. If you're Dan Muller, you got to be pretty happy with what you've seen in the first half from the Redbirds.
looks like the same starting five for Illinois State. Bradley's got one change. Hannah to start the second half over Kent. The Braves going a little bigger to start the second half.
Nice cut there, yeah. Just got a hold of Mahorcic there as he was going in for that would have been an easy layup from Mahorcic, so pretty good foul there.
Yeah, that was a good foul. Like you said, that would have been an uncontested 2 on the slip from Mahorcic. Popped out ahead. A fresh 20, that's now down to 17. Reeves went 11 points in the first half. Washington knocks down the mid-range jumper.
Yeah, Washington's one of those guys for the Redbirds. He can really fill it up. Just a freshman. He's already got a 30-point game in his record book so far for this time with ISU. Granted, that was that Greenville game where they broke so many program records with scoring, but still, you can see what he can do.
Hannah hit hard as he was trying to be pretty violent with the rim.
And
he'll shoot too.
You know he can do that too. We've seen flashes of Darius Hannah, the Sports Center top 10 dunks throughout this season. He's really got that flair in his game to be able to finish at the rim. He had violent thoughts on that one.
Looking to get in the scoring column. He does have 7 rebounds, which is one shy of a season and obviously a career high being a freshman. He makes the first free throw, so he is on the board. And early substitution, Boyd's going to come in for Fleming. Boyd, a strong first half, 6 points off the bench.
It was Fleming Jr.'s 4th foul. So it started, and times in that beginning segment there for the Redbirds, he was really facilitating, knocking down a couple of mid-range jumpers, setting up his teammates. That's a big loss right now for the Redbirds.
Yeah, I think he had 3 assists on the first 4 baskets of the game.
Yeah, and he knocked down a couple jumpers. He really had his game kind of working. As you see Washington again, he can heat up in a hurry.
Back to a 5-point game. Spreading the floor as Mass pops out, gives the McAdoo free throw line extended on the left.
Got different cutters working the middle of that zone, trying to get the defense to stretch out. As you see, it opens up a passing lane. Hannah's able to convert on that little one-on-one against Mahorcic.
Really good find by Mass. Quickly the other way, Washington. Guarded by Hannah. Boyd has it, right wing Reeves. Hand in his face by Henry. Bounce pass on the pick and roll, stripped away, thrown back to the top. Here's Boyd now with it, spins it, throws it up, no, but he'll shoot 2.
Strong take there by Boyd, and check out the hustle by Dusan Mahorcic. He kind of loses it between 2 defenders down there, dives on the floor, rifles it out to Boyd, creating the second chance opportunity, and Boyd manufactures a trip to the free throw line.
Both teams have been excellent from the stripe. Combined 16 of 17 for both sides. Illinois State a perfect 6 of 6, including 2 of 2 from Boyd, make it 3 of 3 for the junior.
And Boyd's got the rim thing figured out. He rimmed home 2 jumpers in the first half, rims home that first free throw. He's getting the shooter's touch tonight.
No rim needed that time as he swishes the second of 2. Touch pass back to McAdoo. Mass top of the circle, gives to Tavanainen, back to Mass from the elbow. The touch from the big man is there.
See again, it sounds like drumming it over and over again, but Bradley having a lot of success when they get the ball in the middle of that zone. It just kind of crumbles there defensively for the Birds once they get the ball in the middle. Bradley going to keep attacking that way.
Washington, left side, nearly traveled with it. Instead gives it to Boyd behind the back. Guarded by Tavanainen. Tough deuce from Boyd, and he's feeling good right now.
Yeah, really strong defense there by Tavanainen to contest and stay with him that whole time, but Boyd's got it working right now. Really strong jumper there. That offense is better than the defense on that one.
Joins Reeves and Strong in double figures with 10. Tavanainen gets the high ball screen. Hesitation, dribble, hits space, goes up, and one.
Yeah, that heads you right there by Ville Tavanainen. Beats his man off the dribble, thanks to that little stutter dribble. Gets the step on him. Nice job getting all the way to the rack for the old-fashioned three-point play opportunity.
And a lot of fans, would typecast him as a shooter, right? But Brian Worrell called him a scorer. And that's been evident as of recent. It came into tonight 17 of his last 22 from 2-point range. And
Brian, he's shooting 77% from 2-point range this season. I mean, that is amazing. That's great shooting percentage, along with being your team's top 3-point shooter.
And a lot of them have looked like that, where he's run off the 3-point line and able to get 3 points anyway, just the hard way. I guess the easy way for him, the way he's been able to score inside the arc this year. Mohorčić backing his way in on Max. It's a fun matchup to watch. Washington back to Strong, cut off by Tavanainen, zips it over to Washington, who goes up no, and the rebound to Tavanainen. Tavanainen to Henry, full speed ahead.
Yes.
Offensive foul.
He got that really smart move there by Washington, just slid over. He saw Henry do this exact same play in the first half. Nobody stopped the ball, but Washington says, all right, I'll come over and stop the ball right under the hoop. Great IQ play there, Iman Washington.
Yeah, you got to give him a ton of credit. That is not easy to do. You have the guy with the strength and speed of Henry.
A linebacker, full speed coming at you.
Able to step in front, take the charge. And Illinois State holding on to a 2-point lead. They led by 3 at the half, if you're just joining us. Led by as many as 11. That came right at the beginning of the game. Boyd finally misses, but tracked down, however, by Sissoko, who lays it in.
Yeah, Jai able to just keep that possession alive. Gets the tip out. Sissoko just kind of follows it up. Strong finish there, two-handed by Haruna Sissoko.
First second chance points of the game for Illinois State. Sissoko did not play in the first contest between these two. It's on the board here. East with the left-handed floater. And hauled in by Jai. Ahead to Reeves. Reeves in the corner through the fingertips of Sissoko and back to Bradley. Who will possess out of the timeout, 15:56 to go. It's a good one. Bradley down 4. You're watching the Valley on ESPN. Playing with you, Illinois State leading Bradley 45-41. Again, not to overdo it, but I know driving down here tonight, I was super excited just for the opportunity to call this game. It's always just so much fun every year. And even without, a full Carver Arena or full arena when they played in Bloomington normal, it's still just a joy. And I feel privileged to be here on the call tonight. And it's been a good one so far.
100%. I echo that statement. No doubt about it. And both these teams playing with a lot of intensity, and should be a fun one down the stretch here with it being this close.
McAdoo open for Trey. Bradley, as we've talked about, has been really good ATO. And they dial one up from 3 to get within 1 once again. Cutting is Sissoko, who answers at the other end. He's got 4 now.
Yeah, so strong going to the hoop. He's got that big body. Is able to work his way to the hoop and knock it down. Link keeps that one alive, but nobody home, and Redbird's pushing the tempo.
Look ahead to Boyd. Just like that, Illinois State opens it back up to a 5-point lead.
Yep, Bradley got a sniff. They could smell the chance, the opportunity to take the lead out to 1. ISU with 2 quick buckets. Great response.
Henry drives in.
Just kind of splits those 2 defenders, go right through the two-handed flush to Sean Henry.
So Braves showing some zone.
Yeah, we've seen Bradley do this from time to time, just kind of get some of that length going as through the zone. Tries a 3 flat on that one, falls short.
Ahead to Henry, corner Tavanainen. Instead drives in, shovels it to Linky, and he's fouled.
Yeah, I totally see what Tavanainen's trying to do there, drive, but wide open 3. You don't want him shying away from his game, shoot that 3-pointer, but doing a good job trying to get his teammates involved. You see he's kind of beating himself up over that one, but nonetheless, the Braves' possession continues here.
Blew of substitutions as well. It's been at a good pace, particularly in the second half. Both these teams offensively at high pace. Kent in the middle with the jumper.
Yeah, that's money. Get him running in from the far side, right into the middle, free throw line jumper. Jason Kent will knock that down all day, and again, getting the ball to the middle of that zone. Bradley's had a lot of success doing that.
Reeves, who got off to a monster start, relatively quiet as of late. Strong gets in the air, out to Boyd for three. And McAdoo snatches it out of the air. Bradley can take the lead. McAdoo off the ball screen. Oh, no, but he is fouled. Bradley looking potentially for basket interference, but nothing there. And McAdoo will shoot two and a chance to give Bradley their first lead of the night.
Really like what I've been seeing from Kevin McAdoo this last stretch where he's came back, but really playing with a lot of aggressiveness, attacking the hoop, shooting the jumper if he has it. I'm very impressed with what McAdoo's been able to do.
And he came in and has been a combo guard, right?
For sure.
Spearhead a lot of the point guard duties as of late. And he's got 8 points in this ball game. 2 of 3 from three. And Bradley, I'm sure, really wants to get him going from three. He has the ability. He came in here to shoot it. So it's good to see him knock down a couple of those. He does tie the game at 49.
And you hear the limited Bradley fans trying to get their team riled up here a little bit. Yeah, refreshing for them to hear some fans in Carver Arena. They're kind of trying to build off that energy right now. Bradley with an opportunity here to get a stop and a score, take their first lead.
Strong for three and a huge answer on the other end. Every time Bradley's got to within the slimmest of margins, Illinois State answers back, and they do yet again. It's Strong.
Strong says not so fast, up to 13 points for him. He's been very impressive tonight. At big moments, able to knock down a jumper, and right there, that was another one of them. McAdoo tries to answer.
Can't do it. Washington with those long arms secures the rebound, his sixth. Strong inside, had it knocked away, flipped ahead, but it goes back to Washington. And one.
Really strong move there. Antonio Thomas tries to slide under him. He gets there a little bit late. Washington will just kind of flip it up. Huge momentum swing there. If Mass is able to save that one, Bradley gets numbers going the other way, but instead, great job by ISU sticking with that play. Washington gets the bucket, as you see right here. A little flip it in off the glass.
Washington now with 8 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Freshman out of Atlanta, 62% foul shooter. It's good. Illinois State, a perfect 9 of 9 from the line.
Very impressive, very impressive. That's been the Achilles heel at the beginning of the season. The Achilles heel for ISU was the free throw line. They were having some struggles, connecting from there. So to come here at your rival's home gym and shoot perfection almost from the free throw line thus far, really impressive. Mass wide open, he can shoot that three.
Back-to-back three-point trips for the Redbirds after Bradley had tied it. Entry pass to Henry on the cutting east is short. Knocked out of bounds. I believe it will stay with Bradley. It will.
I'm going to talk about it a little bit here.
And they're going to change it. And it's going to go back to the Redbirds, who can now build on a 6-point lead. They got out ahead to Strong. Opposite the screen gets by Kent. Opposite corner, there's Reeves. Washington tries a three. That's good.
Huge shot by Washington. The Redbirds on a 9-0 run here to take control. Dan Muller and the Birds fired up.
And timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. Like you mentioned, that 9-0 run for Illinois State. Free Bradley basketball looking for a response when we come back. Spurt by the Redbirds has given them a 9-point lead with 12:01 to go. Brian Vito, Matt McClain, Illinois State looking for a sweep in this rivalry that's been, in the near term, dominated by the Braves. But let's see how Bradley responds. After 3 consecutive 3-point trips for Illinois State. A pair of threes sandwiched around an old-fashioned three-point play. And Iman Washington's been huge for the Redbirds, averaging under 5 a game. He's got 12 in this ball game, one of 4 Redbirds in double figures tonight.
Yeah, the depth of the scoring has been great. 13, 12, 12, 11, multiple guys going out there and finding their shot tonight. The Redbirds have their offense clicking on all cylinders. A lot stagnant here by Bradley. A lot of guys standing around. Not much time here to manufacture a shot.
They got 4 to shoot. McAdoo out to Mass. He's going to get it off. And it's in and out. Got a great look. And Fleming, who's in with 4 fouls, will walk it up for Illinois State. Fleming backdoor for Strong, who lays it in.
Tremendous find. That's what Fleming brings, and that's why he's in the game, despite him having 4 fouls. Great vision there to flip that through the defense. Strong catches and shoots. ISU an impressive 11-0 run here.
Mass. Tap. Left wing now. They get it into McAdoo. Puts it up. Backdoor for Henry. Power dribble goes up, and that's a big bucket for Jashawn Henry. We get it back to within single digits, and I'll have one in the hopper after another timeout. 10:47 to go. Bradley trying to chip away down 9. 10:47 to go. Well, this ended an 11-0 run by Illinois State. Jashawn Henry. Power move to the basket, and Bradley really needed that.
Yeah, weight room move there by Jashawn Henry just to kind of stop the bleeding, per se. It was an 11-0 run there by ISU over the last 3 minutes. Henry able to get that score and just kind of, hey, we're down 9, 10:47 to play. Chance to make it an 8-point game with this free throw. There's a lot of game left here for Bradley to kind of work their way back.
Braves are very, very solid. 12 of 14 from the line. That one's run down, I believe, by Henry, but he stepped on the sideline. The hustle, but it'll go back over to Illinois State. So the lead is 9 for the Redbirds.
Bradley's going to pick up some three-quarter court pressure here with the zone. Typically fall back into a little zone. ISU beats it easily, but Bradley's not trying to create any pressure there. Just kind of a different look. Now ISU's got to readjust and get into their offense with 17 on the shot clock.
Trying to milk some shot clock. Nobody's better in the country at milking the shot clock. Is a backdoor feed for Washington, and he lays it in.
And you know what? That was a set play. ISU was ready for that zone. And again, it's Fleming facilitating a perfect backdoor lob for the easy bucket.
They went underneath the screen. The Braves with a second chance. Hannah just inside the arc with the jumper, splashes one home.
Always got to respect the man with the ball, and ISU just kind of defensively lacked off of Hannah there. Nobody on the 2-3 zone stepped up to match up with him, and he just knocks down the little 19-footer.
Strong bounce pass in the corner. There's Washington. Reeves, corner now. Fleming, cut off by Henry.
Well,
Zips it opposite corner. Washington's 3 is no good. And the Braves get a stop. Trying to string together a pair of made field goals on back-to-back trips. Henry spins in, goes up, left it short. Tipped out back to Ty, the 9 in. He's looking underneath on the high low to Henry, who spins again. I think he traveled, he did. Well, Horchich will check back in. I was trying to make this point earlier, Matt, that the Braves forced their opponent deeper into the shot clock than anyone. 19 seconds into it. And Illinois State doesn't necessarily fit in with their style. They like to get it up and often. Mohorchich, opposite corner, 3 for Boyd is down.
Top shot right in front of the ISU bench. They love to see that. Dedrick Boyd having a big game off the Redbirds bench. 15 points. He has stepped up and provided in a big way.
That's his first 3, but he does have 15, like you said, Matt, on 5 of 10 shooting.
That's
and
too easy.
anticipated that one was Washington, and Washington hammers it home.
The big time put down, Iman Washington. Looking back at the defense on his way in, he throws it down with the one hand. ISU's lead is up to 14 out of nowhere.
Stripped is McAdoo on the floor. Jump ball. It will stay with Bradley on the alternating possession.
Yeah, the Redbirds have all the energy right now. They're playing with confidence. Their bench is up, standing up. They can tell that they're on the verge right now, busting this one wide open. And it comes from plays like this is where you get your energy. Iman Washington throwing it down.
McAdoo comes up limping a bit, and Thomas is going to come in for him. Ken also in for Tavanainen. Again, this one was 49-49 not too long ago, and the Redbirds have come out in a burst.
Yeah, it's an 18-4 run over the last 5 minutes here by ISU. Really taking control of this one.
Ken, contested three, and he gets the bounce.
That must be the end with the friendly bounce. Ken gets this one to go. Much needed three-pointer for the Braves to kind of stop this run that ISU is going on. But it's got to start for Bradley on this defensive end, getting some stops if they want to claw their way back into this one.
Mohorcic backing his way in. Kicks it out. Left wing three is good by Boyd, and Illinois State is just feeling it right now.
Yeah, Mohorcic is such a good passer of the ball down there in the post. He feels the double team come in, skip, extra pass, open three. ISU's really got their offense working well, passing up good shots for great shots.
Kent, not this time, knocked out of bounds, and it'll go back to the Redbirds out of the timeout. Illinois State in control here in Peoria, 14. On top of Bradley, Brian Vito, and Matt McLean, and Matt, the Redbirds, you can tell when they get going, they're feeling it. They have all the confidence in the world, and their offense is clicking, and it's been doing so over the last 5 minutes or so.
Absolutely. Defensively, they got it working. Bradley's offense has kind of become stagnant, and the Redbirds are controlling that. And on the other end of the floor, my goodness, their offense has caught fire. 26 field goals made tonight for the Redbirds. 15 have been come through assists. So the Redbirds sharing the ball. That was one of our keys at the top of the show. Sharing is caring. ISU, when they are good, they are passing up good shots for great shots. Tonight they have been doing that consistently. It's been Howard Fleming facilitating, Dedrick Boyd, Josiah Strong. These guys have been sharing the ball. Mohorcic, a couple great feeds out of the post. Really coming out here and controlling the tempo.
So Strong will walk it up. Braves needing to stop. Underneath, and Mass goes down hard. Got caught in the air. Hope he's all right.
It's one of those you just lay there for a second and make sure everything feels all right. And Reef Mass grabbing his lower back a little bit. That's going to be a stiff one.
I think he's calling. And there's Linky's going to check in for him. Absolutely shaken up. Talked about some of the players not available for Bradley tonight, but we haven't mentioned Ari Boya, who's still out too, and what he provides on the defensive interior and the interior in general. Unavailable tonight, so a lot of minutes to go around in the front court. We've seen a lot from Linky and Hannah tonight.
Yeah, certainly Boya was one of those guys in the non-conference schedule who was a really big part of Bradley's identity in terms of defense. And, you know, their starting center, and he's missed all 15 games to make it 16 now in the Valley season. He's been a big loss for the Braves down low.
Henry drives in, kicks it to Tavanainen, gliding to his right, and a big three from Tavanainen, his first three of the game.
Absolutely going to need more of those from Tavanainen down the stretch. Three ball. Good to see him make those.
He's got 6 points. Riley led by Henry with 13. Mast has 12. Boyd leading all scorers with 18. Ten to shoot.
The Redbirds milking this clock a little bit, doing a lot of passing, trying to facilitate, get their shot as East plays the passing lane. Got a 2-on-3.
Active hands by East. That's got to be a block, right? Nope.
Wow. He gets the call. Boyd slides over. And you know what? Sometimes it's just putting the refs to the test. You know, Boyd comes over, slides, and he gets the call going his way.
And foul's going to be called on Thomas. Will bring it back up. Here's Fleming with 5 assists in the game. He's been limited to just 15 minutes due to foul trouble. He's got 4. Mohorčić in the low post. Skips it out. Strong for 3 is good.
Yeah, too easy. Strong's got to go in tonight. Mohorčić just flips it over to him, and Strong rises up. What a game he's having. His 4th three-pointer of the night.
Henry underneath, throws it down.
It's got to start on defense here if Bradley wants a chance here. That they got to really lock in this last 4 or 5 minutes and really, just control what they can control on the defensive end. As you see Mohorčić slip that screen, he's got another one-on-one opportunity. He can score this.
And he does score it. Posting up on Licky, and a timeout taken by Illinois State as the lead is stretched back out to 14 for Mohorčić. He's got 4 points, 2 of 2 shooting. They haven't needed him offensively due to the strong perimeter play from the guards, and now Illinois State trying to close out Bradley, and we've seen them with these offensive outbursts this year. They scored 80 last weekend at Southern Illinois as well.
177 against Greenville. That was a little bit of an exhibition there for them offensively, but I mean, and a win against Chicago State, they had 91. I mean, this is a team that can fill it up when on their nights when they're shooting the ball well, and I mean, this is one of those nights. ISU tonight, 56% from the field, 9 for 9 from the free throw line. You're going to win a lot of games if you're shooting at that clip, and their defense has been pretty dang good as well.
Yeah, and Bradley, a team that's quite frankly difficult to score on, came in 39th nationally in field goal percentage defense, second in the Valley in that category, just 0.4% behind Loyola. They've led that category in the league the last 3 years, and you got to credit Illinois State for what they've been able to do offensively. Even with a bunch of, I'll say new faces, but guys getting a lot more minutes than maybe they're accustomed to in the white uniforms tonight.
It looks like Jason Kent was trying to come into the game, and they're saying, no, he can't come in now, so take a seat. But, yeah, just in terms of this last 5 minutes, Bradley's going to have to come down here and really push the tempo and try to, just to get up to 75 points, let alone have a chance to get back in this one. They're going to have to start scoring in bunches.
Tavanainen pump fakes, gets an open 3. It's too strong, and the rebound to Henry. Back out to Hannah. McAdoo, he'll try his luck at a 3. That one's short, and the rebound to Washington. Fleming slowly walks it up. There's Mohorčić looking backdoor, but East was ready for it. Instead, hands off to Strong on the give and go to Mohorčić. Needles his way in, nearly got the drop. I think it hit the top anyway, but he'll shoot 2.
Yeah, really good floor awareness. The 1-2 game there by Strong and Mohorčić, the pick and roll. Strong is able to split the defense. Mohorčić coming down off the roll. Great pass. Mohorčić splits the defense again as he gets fouled. Nice job there.
So Mohorčić, just 46% from the line. That's Illinois State's first miss from the stripe tonight.
Mohorčić is one of those guys who, a junior college product, a D2 product. He's kind of bounced around from place to place. You know, maybe he's found a home now at ISU. He's been very impressive in his first year, his junior year with the Redbirds. The guy does a little bit of everything. We've seen him. He's got great vision on the block there. When he catches, he can finish. He's a great rebounder. He's kind of the heart and soul of that team in terms of energy and from down low than the big men.
East from the elbow is short. Fleming the board. Looking ahead, gives to Reeves. Behind the back, step back three. Tipped in, however, by Jai.
Yeah, Jai's limited minutes that he's played, he has just been a force almost on every play. He either gets a hand on a ball or he's able to keep a possession alive, and he does it again there.
Violent slam by Hannah on the other end on the feed from Tavanainen.
And Dan Miller telling his guys, all right, let's come down here, let's run some clock, let's get a good look, up 15 here with under 4 to play, no reason to rush.
Screen and roll, Reeves, active hands by Kent, forces the turnover. East to walk it up in transition, Tavanainen, back to East, McAdoo open three from the corner is down.
That's exactly what Brandy needs. They need stops and they need buckets, and they get a big swing there. ISU trying to run some clock. Kent played the passing lane, set up that opportunity as McAdoo knocks down a three. 12-point game with 3 minutes to go. Crazier things have happened. Bradley's got to keep their head on swivel defensively here.
They switch, and Hannah's on Washington. Strong, one-handed pass to Fleming. Behind the back, goes by East, floats one up and scores.
Really, really tough move there by Fleming. Just goes one-on-one, beats his man, able to flip it up and in.
Hannah hands it back on the give and go to East. Good recovery by Illinois State. Spinning in is East. Underhand, flips it up and it rolls in.
Tough move there by Sean East, able to get that one to go. He's up to 5 points, got his number. And again, though, Bradley's going to need to get some stops here, Brian.
Yeah, really the key. I mean, offensively, they have 16 assists on 24, makes 44%. Illinois State really shooting it well and getting a ton of good looks. Blocking foul is called as Tavanainen tried to step in front of Strong, but it'll send Strong to the line when we come back. 2 minutes flat to go. Illinois State trying to finish off the Braves here in Peoria. Back to wrap it up in Peoria, and through it all, tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, and for Bradley, it's Deshaun Henry. It's been a bright spot for the Braves.
Yeah, absolutely. Henry makes it able to facilitate a little bit, get a couple dunks, and attacking the hoop with great success for most of the night. Sean Henry.
And that's for the home team. On Illinois State side, you have a few options to certainly choose from. Strong and Boyd both with 18. Washington's had a monster second half with 16. Reeves got the Redbirds out of the gate strong. He's got 11.
No doubt.
And he makes the first free throw, make it 12 for the sophomore out of Simeon High School. It's not a bad program.
They've been to Carver Arena a few times.
They're ranked number 1, I saw, on one poll to start the high school basketball season as well. Shockingly, yeah, a pretty decent program they have there. I'm going to give my hat tip game ball to Howard Fleming Jr. too as well. I've raved about him all night, been able to share the ball and run the offense for the Redbirds. McAdoo, deep three is in and out.
Halfway. It's kind of been that night for the Braves,
sums it up, doesn't it?
Absolutely, yep. I give all the credit to ISU. They came out and they played the way they wanted. They controlled the tempo, and they've had the majority of the energy tonight. Redbirds really brought this game to the Braves.
Yeah, when the Braves, it's an arbitrary number, but when the Braves get to 65 points, they're nearly unbeatable. I mean, not nearly. I mean, they win a high majority of the time. I say they're 10-3. When they score at least 65, that just shows you a couple of things. A, how good Bradley's been defensively this year, but B, how good Illinois State's been offensively tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That number is magic for them. When they're under that 65 number, they're 1-10. So that tells you how important it is to get there. But just not much you can do when a team comes out like ISU and they shoot 57% from the field and really just able to kind of control the tempo throughout. There's times that Bradley, I mean, first 30 minutes, Bradley kept it close. They were able to, have their runs and make their answers, but the Redbirds just able to outlast the Braves so far.
Yeah, that big turning point. It was Braves came all the way back and exuded a ton of energy to tie it at 49.
Yep.
And 3 consecutive possessions, ISU put up a 3 spot, a 3-point play, and then another 3. And Braves just have been unable to fight back ever since. And the Redbirds will inbound. Shy. The defense by Bradley. Thrown right into the hands of Tavanainen right before the shot clock went off. Ahead to a streaking Thomas who goes up. He's challenged at the rim, and they'll shoot 2.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want if you're Bradley. An opportunity to put some points on the board with the clock stopped. It's a 14-point game here. I mean, we've seen some crazy finishes in this league over the years, so nothing's out of the question here. You got to keep playing. Both teams here. This game's not over.
Yeah, the Braves, want to extend the game. Outside of tonight, so Illinois State's been excellent from the line, 12 of 13. That's, like you said earlier, been an Achilles heel for the Redbirds. So let's see if the Braves can score, extend the game. As Thomas gets 1 of 2 and a foul, and it's going to send Washington to the line. That's the 9th team foul on Bradley, so still 1-1. And Washington is 1 of 1 there tonight. 62% in the year.
And just a schmink better on the season for the entire Redbird program.
Yeah.
63% is what they shoot from the charity stripe. So tonight to be 12 for 13 with this one in the hopper, just this shows you how well they got it going.
And he makes the first. Again, Illinois State, both teams are going to finish at home next Friday. So not tomorrow, but next Friday, Illinois State will host Northern Iowa. And Bradley will host Drake to close out their respective Valley slates on Friday and Saturday, I should say. Kent just inside the arc. The pull-up jumper is no good, and the rebound goes to Fleming, zips it ahead to Washington, and he's fouled. Drake fresh off of that thrilling overtime win and a series split against Loyola. They really needed that one for everyone's hoping for the automatic bid, obviously, in St. Louis, but that really would have diminished a lot of their LR chances. Of course, if that's what we hear anyway.
What a great advertisement for the league. That last series last weekend between Loyola and Drake. Obviously, Loyola with the big win in game 1, but Drake able to, kind of scratch back in game number 2. And, I mean, you're watching that, and that is 2 NCAA tournament teams. There's no doubt in my mind. Those are 2 NCAA caliber teams that can potentially win games in the big dance when you see those 2 programs playing each other. And the Valley's strong this year, so it'd be great to see it become a multiple bid league once again.
And just the way this year's gone, you would be surprised to see some crazy things happen.
Hey, don't ask Bradley about that. They know all about crazy the last 2 years. They've put together some great stretches in that first weekend of March and able to win, back-to-back Missouri Valley tournament championships. And off of 1 weekend of great basketball. That's all it takes.
It's been a challenge for Bradley this year because, I mean, every year over the last, 5 years, they've played their best. Even when they weren't towards the top of the league, they were playing their best basketball as we got into February. As that shot is knocked in.
Jaden Johnson with the bucket.
And Kent slams it in for a bucket. But at the February and out with the Braves with missing a lot of folks and struggling here tonight. Let's see what they can turn it around in a shorter sample and play well next weekend at home against a very good Drake team. But Illinois State fired up, as they should be, as they come into Peoria and Carver Arena and they get the series sweep. They win tonight by a score of 88 to 71. And Matt, we knew the Redbirds were capable of putting up some big offensive numbers. We've seen it at spurts, and tonight was one of those nights for them.
And ISU gets to celebrate in Carver Arena. They sweep the series. ISU comes out. Look at that number, 56.6% from the field, 40% from 3. I mean, they ended up out-rebounding the Braves, which hasn't happened much. Only 7 turnovers on the night, and they get some big performances from guys off the bench. Boyd scores 18 off the bench. Washington gets 20. Strong gets 20. Reeves 13. Quite frankly, Brian, ISU controlled the tempo all night, and they really brought it to the Braves, who didn't have an answer in that final 10 minutes of the ballgame.
You hate to speculate, but it is certainly possible that these two teams could play again.
They could.
A couple weekends from now in St. Louis. But until then, Illinois State will enjoy it. They get the win over Bradley tonight. We hope you enjoyed the broadcast. That's going to wrap it up here from Carver Arena for my partner, Matt McLean, and our entire production crew at Chess Tech, who always does just a magnificent job. I'm Brian Vito. The final here from Peoria. Illinois State Redbirds 88, the Bradley Braves 71.